Sustained military operation in Zamfara and Sokoto states may be informed by resurgence of banditry in the northwest. In the special report, Yushau Ibrahim speaks to locals in the areas taking heat from the crossfire between the armed forces and the bandits. Take a look.
Over the years, competition for land and water between livestock owners and those growing crops has intensified across many parts of Nigeria's northwest region. With over 3 million out of Nigeria's 40 million cotton population, Sokoto State recently recorded a fair share of banditry. What started as localized farmer-herders disputes has degenerated into a more sophisticated and highly organized crime. Few months to the conduct of the 2023 general elections, many communities that were hitherto terrorized by bandits across Sokoto and Zamfara states have enjoyed relative peace as businesses have picked up and academic activities resumed in many schools. Most of the villages that hitherto witnessed series of assaults remain peaceful and free from all forms of banditry and related crimes for months before the election.
On the eve of the election, there was a decline in bandit activities in form of kidnapping, cattle rustling, imposition of levies, gender and sexual violence, and other associated crimes related to the bandits. There are actually so many factors responsible for the decline. One of which is actually the weather. To a very large extent, the election took place during dry season, and by nature of armed banditry, kidnapping, as well as terrorist activities in the northwest, it was expected that their activities usually go down during the dry season because of lack of vegetational cover and all that. That is actually the first factor. And then the second factor, we've also seen dialogues and the negotiation going on between some government officials, one, traditional authorities, and these bad guys. And that also contributed significantly in the decline of their activities. And within the context of the military, we've seen a lot of pressure coming from the security agencies. There has never been a time in the history of armed banditry in the northwest when they had it so bad than on the eve of the elections. We've seen some of the major leaders being taken out. We've seen some of their rank and files actually on the run. We've seen also some camps belonging to some of these notorious bandit leaders being destroyed. For instance, it was on the eve of the election that the notorious bandit Umaru Naguna, who was in charge of Isa and the Sabon Benin axis, was actually neutralized. And not only that, within the context of the dialogue again, we've seen each and every political party, particularly the leading parties in the northwest, moving to reach out to some of these bandit leaders. I know there was a very serious discussion between some government officials and traditional authorities with Kachala Turiji, with the same also Umaru Naguna, who is his neighbor, with Dankarami, who is actually in Zurmi, with Alhaja Ado, who is actually in Aleru, with Goska and the rest of them. So by extension, naturally, there was a bit calm.
However, shortly after the transition of government on May 29, some remote communities in the two states have begun to witness an upsurge in attack and kidnappings by the bandits. Although one of the renowned bandits leader, Umaru Nagona, in charge of Sabon Birni Isa axis, was neutralized on the eve of election. However, others like Kachala Turji in Sape, Dankarami in Zurmi, Ado in Aleru, and Dugaska, among others, resumed operation after the inauguration of the Tinubu-led government. This led to the killing and abduction of innocent people, including women and children, while scores of others were reported banished from their villages.
Well, usually what we believe has happened is before the election, the politicians have their way of having the intermediaries between the bandits and then the governments, whereby they negotiated, please allow us to conduct our election, and because they cannot stop them, if they say please stop everything, they cannot stop, but they might agree temporarily on a temporary basis that okay, we'll allow you to finish your election, and then after election we can do whatever we want. So I believe maybe that is what happened, but there's no certainty. It just come to us that there was a time, there was a decline, and then suddenly there's an upsurge of the crisis again.
Goronyo, Sabon Birni, Isa, Ilela and Gwadabawa local governments of Sokoto State are among the most hit areas by the activities of bandits in recent times.
As we all know, the general election that occurs in 2023, February, Nigeria experienced one of the most critical elections. As such, electoral activities are very serious, not just to Nigerians, but to the world. Because we have observers foreign, within Africa and outside Africa. As such, being this activity is very important. Probably, the bandits also went back to their various communities to vote. And those from Niger Republic flew to Niger Republic.
Gigani, Araka and the Gidan Kudobo villages in Gwadabawa local government areas of Sokoto State have recently witnessed assaults by suspected bandits. 7 people were confirmed killed in Gigani and several others injured when a gang of suspected bandits attacked the community early last month.
Gaskiya wannan yayana ne. Wannan yaran da gani su kuma ɗayan ɗana ne don ɗan yayana ne. Ɗayan kuma jikana ne. Ko ba ka? Na tafi na fito gari yawa jiya Laraba. Na fito na yau kasuwa. Na bar gida da bayan minti 10 aka kira ni waya aka ce ga abin da yake faruwa. Tun hayo mu gida wurin gidanmu. Sun samu 'yan uwana sun kakkashe.
Some of the victims of Gigani attack who sustained critical injuries spent several days at Gwadabawa General Hospital receiving treatment, while those with minor wounds were treated and discharged. Records at the Gwadabawa General Hospital have indicated that a total of 12 cases of banditry were recorded at the facility in the month of June alone.
Lalle an kawo mana patient na bandit akalla za su kai 12 da farkon watan ga zuwa yanzu 15 ga wata. An kawo daga gidan Kudobo, an kawo daga Raka, an kawo daga Gigani, amma mahi yawancin su daga Gigani sun kai. Then remaining patient wanda an ka sassara then daga Gigani sun kai. Gaskiya mahi yawanci waɗanda an ka sassara ma sun yawa jiya. Then I think an samu wajen 5 patient jiya waɗanda an sara, wata an yanke ma hannu haka, wata an yanke ma hannu haka, then saura kuma an sassare su.
Like in Sokoto, the gradual return of activities of bandits in some parts of Zamfara is currently raising fears among inhabitants of several communities in the states.